Hello everybody and welcome back to the Wild at Heart. I am back in the Grove. I did a bit of exploring on my own time. I managed to get myself enough glint for our next Spriteling capacity upgrade. I got myself some scrap, a few other odds and ends, and so I'm ready to go to bed and to start the day over again. But I didn't want to go to sleep just yet because when we do, Kirby is going to have herself her first dream, and it's kind of story related, so that's not something that I wanted to miss out on. Oh boy. You're okay, you're just dreaming. My, look at you. Who are you? You're tired. I'm sorry for disturbing you. I simply wanted a glimpse. Sleep now, little one. And that figure, of course, was the Green Witch. You might recall seeing her when we were at the catafalque. So it's interesting that Kirby can speak with her, seeing as how she's not as strong as she used to be. Before we leave today, we're going to want to spend our glint to get our next Spriteling capacity upgrade. At this point in the game, you need 35 sprites. You will not be able to continue on and make any kind of progress without doing that first. So I've got myself enough for a small little Spriteling army, which is wonderful. And before we set off today, I'm going to bring some kettle bombs, 3 bloomstones, and some empty bottles. Completely random, I know, but I will explain what it is that I'm going to be doing with these items in a little bit. And starting from where we are now as we leave the Grove, I'm going to be going in a sort of counterclockwise motion today, and we're going to just do a video where we do a bit of backtracking and we just sort of pick some stuff up and sort of do some additional stuff that isn't required for the story, because I don't think we've had any sort of free roaming episode yet. But now that we have our little tiny army here, there are a few things that we are able to do. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that out with Kirby. It's just another shortcut. And we're back at our camp. And so from our camp and from our portal, we're going to head east. You'll notice that there is a boulder here, which is why I've brought my kettle bomb. And keep in mind that this is completely optional. You really don't have to worry about blowing this particular rock up, because there's actually nothing I can do in this area right now. I just like to blow the boulders up when I see them. And I also thought that I would go ahead and mark Litterbox's cat on my map. Alright, so we're going to continue to the east. Get rid of some of these slimes. And I never bothered to go this way because I remember thinking in my head that there wasn't actually anything for us to do. Ooh. Ooh, we got ambushed. That's not good. That was my fault. I was not paying attention. There we go. As I was saying, I recalled in my brain, or so I thought, that there was really nothing over here for us to do at this point, so we're basically just up here on the easternmost part of the central deep woods. And we're gonna defeat this annoying flying enemy if we can. I find these things kind of difficult to fight. You kind of have to throw Spritelings at them to knock them out of the air. And then when they're on the ground, you can attack them. The Spritelings there destroyed the hive very, very efficiently and very, very effectively. But look at what we have here. We have our water wheel, and it only takes 15 Spritelings to carry, which is wonderful. And the water wheel is really important because that's what we're going to use to upgrade Kirby and Wake. That's what we use all our heartroot resin with. So I completely forgot that the water wheel was there. As those sprites head back to our camp, we are going to head south. You can see there's another one of litter boxes. Cats. There's also a piano floating in water. Completely random. Obviously something else that we're going to have to come back for. We could actually take care of this if we had made a bit of progression and gotten our next Spriteling, but I'm not too worried about it. I'll just mark it on the map as something to return to later. And the water wheel has been returned to the grove. Which is excellent. Alright, so now we're going to head the other way. We're going to head west. And where we're going is actually towards the giant trash can icon. And this was something that was put on our map by Paper Planes when we bought the map from him. So this boulder here, we will need all 35 sprites to move. And again, this is an optional area, but when we come here, we can speak to this guy. Ah, my good man, a trade perhaps. I am quite peckish. And you can trade items with Trash Can, which is where I brought the bottles and the bloomstones. So you can trade any item with him, most items. So for example, if we trade him 3 bottles, he's gonna give us something random. So, you know, he traded us 3 bottles for an item that is much better. He gave us a burly burr. If we trade him 3 more bottles, we might get something else completely different, completely random. And so this time I'm going to trade 3 bloomstones. Now this is obviously a much rarer item. And the reason that I'm doing this, do not squander my time with such worthless objects. I am told these are quite prized among your kind. Take it if it will prevent further embarrassments. And he gives us some heartroot resin, so if you can bring him 3 bloomstones, not only will you get your bloomstones back, which is fantastic, but yeah, he'll also give you some heartroot resin, which is perfect. It's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned. And so I just wanted to show that off. You also get an achievement the first time that you trade something with Trash Can as well. Okay, so from here we're just going to continue on this familiar path. And I think I actually want to go north. Yes, I do. I want to go north towards Frost Fields. And I'm gonna use this little shortcut, this ramp that we discovered last time, because I would like to carry this back to the grove as well, which also requires all 35 of our sprites. Hey, little buddy. No, you don't need to do that. Oh, he's busy. He's on a mission. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to wait for this one little confused sprite to finish. And then we'll toss him in there. And they're gonna make the long trek back and bring that to the grove for us. And then that pretty much does it. That was all I really wanted to do. I knew that we had quite a few things that we could do with the 35 sprites that we had. So I'll probably just follow these guys now. There's not really much I can do. I'm defenseless. I have surrendered all 35 of my sprites. But there's no enemies along the way. I've cleared all of them out, so it should be fine. It's just a bit of a slow wait for them to bring it back. And obviously these are all things that you don't have to do right now. Obviously the only thing that you need to bring back to the grove is the shell, which I believe we found over here in this little area right here. You need that in order to be able to increase the capacity of your sprites. And I would also strongly recommend the water wheel. If you want to do all your backtracking at once and you don't want to do it in little chunks like this, I would at the very least recommend the water wheel, and the soul shell is required. So it's taken them a little while, but they got there. Thank you, thank you. So that item, of course, was just a relic. Which is fine. Now it's interesting that Scrap Heap said that he has nowhere to display it. Did we not bring the trailer back? Or did we run out of time in the last video? Is the trailer still here? No. Oh, you know what it is? We've brought it back to the grove, but I haven't built it yet. Okay, so let's go back to the grove. I was completely confused. I was thinking, I'm pretty sure we brought the trailer back. So let's go check out the water wheel first, because it is the more important upgrade. It can be built here, so you need 10 loose parts, 1,000 scrap, and of course the water wheel. Excellent. So you can see here that we have 10 pieces of heartroot resin already, which is not bad. And so this serves to upgrade both Wake and Kirby. And we have health upgrades, we have the Gustbuster and Warden's Way upgrades, as well as a bag upgrade. So I'm going to probably get myself a bag upgrade. And I can only really afford one upgrade for either Kirby or Wake at this time. So it doesn't really matter. I think I might get the upgrade for Kirby because we use her lantern quite a bit. So just like that, I have no scrap, which unfortunately means that I can't help out Scrap Heap either, which I kind of feel bad about. He's just sitting here waiting patiently for me. Oh, I can build it. I was gonna say I can't build his poor Grove Trove, but fortunately it only costs us 250 pieces of scrap, which we have. And all that grinding for loose parts also served me well because I have enough scrap parts. There you go, Scrap Heap. The Grove Trove has new items on display thanks to you and your Spriteling team. Take this reward as a small token of my gratitude. So he'll give us scrap when we return things to his grove, just like how Litterbox will give us glint for returning her cats. And if you want to, you can look at all the different things you've brought back to the Grove Trove. And I think that's about all that we're going to be able to do in the Grove. In the meantime, I don't remember, did we buy maps from Paper Plains? We did not. So he has new maps. I don't really have a lot of scrap at the moment, so I may have to come back for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some stuff away. And now we are pretty much ready to go back to Crystal Fall Coast. So with my 35 Spritelings in tow, we can now move the boulder. And this is basically blocking the way to our camp. So now we can set up camp here, we can save, we can rest, we have a place to rest here, which is nice. And now we're pretty much set to move on to our next objective and to finally make some more story progress. Really quick before I end the video, because this will only take a couple of seconds to do anyways. Let's go ahead and burn the brambles that are by this log. We'll have Kirby go through, and then she can pick up this treasure chest. Get ourselves a little bit of our scrap back. Alright. So that is going to be it for me for this episode. What I will probably do is rest just so that I have a nice fresh day to start off on. And we are finally ready to make some new progress in this new area. So that is very, very exciting. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.